You mentioned finishing practice outside of that. Did you guys you didn't practice practice?
No, yeah,
Right? You just kind of went out at the end.
yeah. We're not the end. We do our normal Thursday routine stuff, but I mean, even opening the doors, you're like, the snow is out there. I mean, it's coming down in Columbus, so we're not.
You guys have been playing a lot more aggressive blitzing. Is that you've had a lot of success? Is that more fun? Do you like being in a defense that's maybe playing a little more aggressively than you may have in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely allows for bigger plays and more, I guess, splash plays you call it. But I mean, I trust what Coach Knowles thinks. I'm not going to be. I want to be a robot, but I think he puts together a great game plan no matter what week it is, and whatever he sees, I'm going to try to see exactly what he sees and do it the best I can. So, I have full trust in him and all of our coaches. So, whatever they see, I'm gonna try to do it to my best ability.
You guys play a bunch of teams this year that use tight end pretty heavily. Longhorns, obviously.
Yeah.
Ferguson against Oregon. Gunnar Helms in Texas. It seems like he's a pretty big part of it.
Yeah.
What do you say on him on the field and what kind of challenges for you guys?
Yeah, no, he's a really talented receiver. I mean, he's probably one of the better ones just like you've explained, we've seen all year. So, I mean, we're gonna have a big focus on him and make sure that we could limit him as well as all the other receivers too. I mean, they have a good offense, so it's gonna be a big challenge for us, but we're ready for it and we're excited to go out here and play our best game.
They're a little bit unique in that they have two running backs who kind of have similar numbers to Trey and
Quinchon. Yeah.
What kind of a challenge is that when you have two different backs who may be a little bit different players, but also they can kind of keep each other fresh throughout the game?
Yeah. No, I mean it's tough. I mean they're really talented, and it's been an emphasis for us to be able to limit their big plays, and we know that they can hit big home run plays. So for us, I mean, we just want to play our job, it really comes down to executing and doing our job because every play has X's and O's that can line up perfectly. But if you can defeat your block or win your one-on-one, you can make a play. No problem.
What did you see if you see anything there? 12 sacks last year. Just winning some pressure from what stood out to you most?
I mean, I think our mentality through these last couple of weeks has been, really just going after it. I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't before that, but I mean, when it really was time to go and get it, I mean, I think our guys have really been setting up for the challenge. I mean, they've been playing super well. It's fun to play behind those guys. So, I just hope I love that they're doing that, and I hope they can continue to do that. And we just got to keep doing our job.
Back half of the year, you guys started playing a lot, and then you didn't much really at all in the playoffs. Just having the experience of blitzing in the rest and then also having the success, keep you guys well prepared for whatever you guys do.
Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. I mean, you want to show a lot of different things in the year because you can go back to different things, and for us, I mean, again, I listen to what Coach Knowles kind of wants us to do, and I obviously have my own input, but I think he's done a great job preparing for them, and whatever our game plan asks for, we'll be able to do it, and I think whether it's blitzing or not blitzing, I mean, we're ready to do whatever.
You made a comment back, I think it was even in spring ball, that having so many veterans meant he could do whatever with you guys, and that you'd be able to understand it. And the game plan might look very different from 1 week to the next.
Yeah.
How you guys get in there for the start of the week? How are you surprised when you see it? Are there a bunch of new things in there? Like, what is it like to actually start when that's true and you can do whatever maybe he wants?
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's I would say more about like technique, different calls for different techniques. And so it's not necessarily like you can do whatever you want, but it's more like, we can pull this one from 3 weeks ago or just run this defense from a couple weeks ago. Like, you just know you have so many built reps that you can just pull whatever kind of defense you want. I think that's kind of what Coach Knowles has been doing. You're just pulling stuff out.
He said that maybe part of the pressure, because you guys weren't blitzing that much, is like you're getting different looks with the back seven. It's helping out the front. Are you sensing that frustration, whether that was Tennessee or Oregon, so they don't know what you're doing? Can you get that feel from where you are?
I mean, yeah, from their point of view, I'm not totally sure, but I know we do put a lot of emphasis in our disguises, and as every defense really should, and we want to make sure we make it complicated for quarterbacks to see and an O lineman to ID, and I think we're doing a pretty good job of that, and we continue to do that. And I think that's to be an important emphasis for us in these later weeks.
Maybe this isn't the right time to have that talk. How does that compare in the ability to disguise and do different things compared to 2 years ago? Jim Hart, his first year. How much more is available?
In that sense, there's a lot more available. I mean, his first year. I mean, we had a lot of success that year, but it was kind of new for everybody. So getting a line for one job was a big deal. Sure. But I think now we're at a higher level, I would say, for that, and really just we want to be able to understand, like, not just what he's calling, but why, the reason, having that situational awareness to be able to make plays, to know what he's thinking when he's calling a certain plays. So I think we're doing that pretty well right now, and we got to keep doing that.
All that emotion after getting revenge against the Oregon, going into this game, how's the coach, Ryan Day, and staff been prepared?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we need to we're playing to stay together for another game. Our whole team, we all love and support each other so much that we want to be together for another game. And if we don't win this game, this team is no more anymore. So I think that's the biggest thing. We just want to stay together and play another game.
Cody, what's it kind of like being back here? Obviously, it ended last year the way you didn't like. Nobody liked it. Kind of a bad taste in your mouth. What is it like being back here, knowing that you can kind of rewrite that story and end up in Atlanta?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of fitting, I'd say, to come back here and be able to, do it over again and really for everything for all that matters. I mean, I'm super excited because we've been here before. We know the lay of the land here, so we're all excited. We're ready to go, and an extra day to prepare down here, and I think it'll be great. I mean, we're motivated. We all want to stay together for another game, so we're ready to go.
It seems like y'all's postseason theme. Another final home game.
Yeah.
Get Oregon again. Now you get back to the Cotton Bowl again. It is kind of interesting how this is lining up, isn't it, Cody?
Yeah. No. I mean, we don't really care who shows up in front of us, but our thing is, doesn't matter what happens. We just got to go up and show up, and it's playoff time. So, got to play your best out at the right time and really play your best game now.
When you hear your coordinator say that you wouldn't be surprised if you're president of the United States one of these days, these days,
you never know these days.
But what do you think about that, man? That's pretty high praise just from the standpoint of your ability to peruse situations, to handle situations.
Yeah, I
be cool, all that stuff.
I try not to let it go to my head, but I mean he's a great guy. Coach knows he's one of the best football masterminds I've ever been around, and for him to say stuff like that, I mean I appreciate him a lot because I mean he's seen a lot in me, and we've gone through some tough times here, and but we've made it through, and we're trying to go and win the whole thing now. So.
I told you it's appeared since the Nebraska game on that you've been, in my opinion, watching you've been on another plane. I mean, a different level. Not that you weren't playing well before. So if you felt different over the last many games, playing at your ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't even say it's anything. I'd say we're playing with a better mentality and a I would say like more of a desperation right now. I mean, we know what the stakes are right now. It's win or go home, and we need to be at our best game no matter what. And so I think for us to be able to play at our best, I need to be playing at my best too. So, I got my teammates counting on me, and I'm counting on my teammates as well.
Has your recognition ever been sharper than it is now? What's going on in front of you?
I mean,
the way you slow danced, Dylan Gates last week on one of those sacks. I mean.
No, I think that speaks to the preparation from the week. And our coaches do so much. You guys don't even know half of it. They're in there all day, like watching film after film and clicking after clicking. So they get us prepared for these games, and we have to do our job on the field and executing in practice. So I think all that stuff just speaks to all the reps we get to do at practice. It's just freaky. I mean, freaky.
Coach Knowles was talking about.
Oh yeah, they have two really good backs. They're we call them like slashers. They can hit home run balls, and if you don't fit your right gap correctly, they'll take that ball to the house. So we know we have to be gap sound and job sound and make sure we're on our stuff. And I think if we execute well, we'll like the result.
The active offensive line is full of
Yeah.
and what's some of the things that you on the offensive line?
I mean, they move really well. They got really good tackles, so we're gonna be aware of that stuff. And I mean, I think we have a good game plan, and we're gonna try to take advantage of their weaknesses and really play our game.
Coach Knowles was talking about Ty Hamilton and Ty Leak, their relationship together. He says Ty's a bit more quiet, Ty Leak's more outspoken.
Yeah.
Kind of how do they work together, and how helpful, I guess, is it when you have two guys on the interior that are in sync like that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we call them TNT. So those guys are, I mean, I've never had two better D tackles to play behind before, and they destroy everything in the middle. And I mean, I could just play off those guys, and they make our jobs so much easier, me and Sonny. So I'm just thankful to have those guys up there. They're game wreckers.
With Coach saying, how Ty is quieter, Ty Leak, more outspoken, I guess, how do they kind of hold leadership roles in different ways and make an impact, even if they have kind of different personalities sometimes?
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of interesting about because Ty is one of the biggest leaders on our team, and a lot of people on our team would probably say he's one of the most underappreciated guys because he doesn't get a lot of the credit, he doesn't get a lot of the the fame or anything, but he's holding those two A gaps down, and no one really pays attention to it, but it happens every play, and he's in there in the trenches every single play. So, a lot of people don't give him enough credit, but I mean, we know and we appreciate him and Tyleek the same way. I mean, Tyleek, the way he uses his hands, I mean, it's almost impossible to block him. So, those guys, they hold down those three gaps in the middle, and I mean, they make our lives so much easier.
You guys are 15 games now into this thing. What's the grind been like, and what's it like right now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know that for a second. Yeah. Kind of forgot 15. Really, it's all about just taking it 1 week at a time, really 1 day at a time. I mean, you can't get too caught up in the length of the season because you're gonna, again, 15 weeks sounds crazy for college, but I mean, the NFL, that's like you're going for 20 weeks. So, we're just 1 day at a time and just putting it one step in front of the other and just keep going.
Do you feel like you guys have kind of rallied around the leaders and maybe Coach Day a little bit in this month of December after the end of the regular season?
No, 100%. And Coach Day has challenged the leaders a lot this whole year, really, but especially towards the end. We have to be the ones who step up and to be the vocal leaders, but then also, doing our job, making the plays that we need to make because, guys are going to look towards the leaders to make those plays, and we have to be the ones to step up.
How cool is it to get here and know that you're just a couple days away from playing this thing?
I mean, I always have that antsiness that I just want to play the game, but I've learned that you have to kind of take that slow build and go on. But we're all excited. We want to go out here and play our best game, so we're ready.
Compared to some of the other teams you've been on here, how close do you feel like this one is compared to some of the other ones, and why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think this team has gone through a lot together. I mean, we've especially the guys who've been around here for a while. It's kind of the end of our run, and it's a lot of emotions built up into it. So I think the guys appreciate that all the effort that our team has put together into this, and so I think it's probably one of the closest teams we've had in a while. So
I think a lot of people who watch Ohio State or cover Ohio State sort of go back to last year's game against Missouri in that building and write it off as who cares, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you guys to get to come back here a year later after that performance where the defense obviously probably played well enough to win, the offense was not able to really get off track, but what does it mean just to get that shot for that, even without all of the other stakes that are involved here? Just this little, I don't want to say revenge to it.
Yeah, no, I could say.
Why do you do it?
I mean, I think you don't want to read too much into storylines about when you're playing the game and stuff, but there was a lot of bad tastes that were left in our mouths from that game, and I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the guys came back. I mean, we didn't feel like we ended the season off right, and I think that was one of the main things that made guys want to come back. And I just personally from a defensive perspective, I don't like saying that we played enough to win the game, because when it comes down to it, we have to be able to win the game on defense. We have to be able to get those stops, and we didn't get those stops. So stuff like that, I mean, that builds up. I mean, it happened a couple times this year where we need to be able to get those stops. So, I mean, that motivates us as a defense too, where, we know that there's more to get and there's more to do for us, and we got to go and win those games.